I always believe that being able to speak the language is not enough, and the communication is the key. And the communication, well, that requires somebody who understands the other party's culture. And then the cultural exchange become really popular and also a very good way to introduce to each other and also to be able to work together and collaborate further. Two million people at the Times Square gathered together on December 31st to celebrate the New Year's Eve. All of a sudden, I heard the music at Times Square, the Chinese music, and it's Beijing, Beijing, and everybody was shout like, "Oh, China! China is a part of this celebration now," and then I almost cried because I feel so proud. The preparation is really long. It took almost a year to prepare, and especially the communication. It's not the language barrier, but that's the cultural barrier. That's American. Not everybody understands the detail, the deep root of the Chinese culture. So we have back and forth discussing, and fortunately that I have a big supporting team to work with me, and then they listen, and then they accept our culture in terms of the Chinese culture. And those tedious, very detail oriented, that from the Chinese perspective, that for example, we would like to show a lion dance, and then the lion dance need to have certain forms in order for the routine. And for the Americans, they just feel a lion just to be on the stage, and then there's no differences, and then they can walk around and then run around, but we do have certain forms to present this.
Beijing, a city thrust into a collision of celebrated tradition and thrilling innovation. Experience the rich culture of a mystical land steeped in thousands of years of sacred tradition. Walk in the footsteps.
My team went to China, and from the US side, they have never been to China. So before they went to China with me, they have asked me so many questions. And not only just how the weather looks, because you can definitely Google this online, but they asked me how people will react when they see the foreigner. And I just gave them the advice that go with your flow, and then you will see how amazing the Chinese people will treat you over there. And don't worry about anything, and just go with us. And then, so they, in the beginning, they were worried before they left. And then as soon as they got there, oh my God, they said, I wish I could spend more time in China. And also the cultural shock for them is the drinking part. When we, because the Chinese, we are very humble, and then we treat our friends from the foreign country, that we would love to share our experience. So our production team in China took my crew members out for dinner, and then they started drinking together. And then the American, they feel that they can drink a lot, but they didn't realize the Chinese rice wine or liquor has really condensed a high percentage of alcohol. So after a few shots, they start feeling it, and then they say, oh my God, it looks simple, but it's really hard to handle. You know, this is really another thing, that if seeing is believing, you have to go there, to go to China and see how it looks like and how people live in China. Even 20 years ago, there were not many Chinese students pursuing their undergrad or even high school degrees in the United States from China. And now I have seen tons of students coming from China, getting the American education, and also even the business companies and even the travelers from China in the US as well. I do believe that the future relationship between the US and China are very bright because of the people. We start learning each other's culture, and then we started making good friends and a good relationship together. And also the government has been supporting each other as well. And with this kind of the relationship, I do feel it's very positive, and we have really good future. Especially being a Chinese living in New York City and full of opportunities.